All right, so I'm going to show you how to put the data into your calculator and use it so that the calculator is what is finding your mean and your median for you. So this data that I have here is the asking price of homes for sale in Lincoln, Nebraska. Notice that the lowest price here is $79,995 and the largest price is $349,900. So I'm going to show you on a TI-84. So if you have a TI-84, it'll look similar. If you have a TI-83, it's pretty much the same. Some of the screens might look a little bit different, but it's not outrageously different. So let me first go to this stat button right here. This is going to get us a place to put all of this data. So once I hit stat, notice this first choice right here is edit. So click enter and you will see L1, L2, L3, etc. So I already have all of the data in L1. So let me show you though using L2 what you need to do here. So let's start by showing you how to clear out that column. So I'm just going to put some random numbers in here, and notice how I just push the number in and hit enter. So I'm just going to put random numbers. If you're putting all of this data in, you would just put those numbers in and hit enter. So 79,995, enter, and just put all of those numbers in and keep hitting enter. So if you have numbers already in there that you want to clear out, use this up arrow and highlight. Get all the way up to the top to highlight whichever column you're trying to empty. So you'll be highlighting L1 to empty that. And then hit clear. Do not hit delete. If you hit delete, you're going to lose your L1 column completely, and then we're going to have to work together a little bit to get that back. So just hit clear. If you hit clear and then enter, it will clear that entire column. So once we hit clear enter, we have that whole column cleared. Then just enter your data, just type the numbers in and hit enter all the way down. Once you have, go ahead and pause it until you get that done. Once you have all of your data in there, go back to the stat button. Notice up at the top here I have edit, calc, and tests. Use the right arrow to edit calc or to move over to calc. This first choice here is one var stats, so that's one variable statistics. Then click enter on that. This top one right here should say L1, and then the bottom will be calculate. So just leave the L1 up there. That's telling me which list to grab the information from. Go down to calculate, hit enter, and it gives me a whole bunch of information. I'll show you what the rest of it means later. But right here we have X bar. Remember, X bar is my sample mean. It's never going to give you mu. It's always going to give you X bar. So $168,320 and about 13 cents is my mean. So that is the average. That is adding them all together and dividing by the number of data points there are. So if you hit your down arrow here, notice this has a little arrow. It shows that means that there's more information down below. I'm going to scroll down, arrow down right here, MED, that's my median. So the median home price is $148,700. Notice there's a pretty large difference between my median and my mean. My mean is $168,320 and my median is $148,700. So once again, since my median is smaller, that means that my data will be skewed right. The reason for this is because we have a couple really large values here that just skew everything. And we have a couple, so we have this 79,995 kind of messes everything up. So we've got this, but this 349,900 pulled my mean to the right. So usually when it comes to this, when our mean and our median are so far apart, we'll just use the median because it, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. We will use the median instead. Sorry about that. We'll use the median instead for our prices. So once again, to get there, you hit stat, over to the right, enter, go down to calculate and hit enter, and that will give you all of your information. Okay, so now that you saw how to put that in the calculator, we got that the mean was $168,320 and about 13 cents. Our median is 148,700. So because of this, as we said, that our data is skewed right. Usually, if our data is skewed, we will use the median because the median is going to be more accurate. We don't have any crazy super high or super low values that drag our data, our mean, one way or the other. So let me show you the histogram for this, and maybe that will help you to see what I'm talking about. So you can see here that most of my data is over here on the left. In fact, the largest amount is in between about 125,000 and 150,000. So that would be most of our homes are around that. That's the price that they're selling for. So I'm guessing that those high ones are probably some super crazy, nice high-end houses. So let's look at some more data. So this is 50 babies that we took their birth weight. So go ahead and pause this and put these in your calculator using that L1. Make sure you clear that out first. Do not hit delete, hit clear. Clear that out first and put all of these baby weights in there and find the mean and the median. Remember, there's 50 of them. You are not going to want to do this by hand. After you do that, think about what the shape of the distribution would be and which measure of central tendency we would use, which means would we use the mean or would we use the median. So go ahead and pause this and take care of that, and when you come back, we will go over it. Okay, so hopefully you had that in your calculator. You did the 1 var stats and you got a mean of approximately, it should say 7.488. And then when you scroll down, your median is 7.35. So those two numbers are really close to the same number. They're very similar. So I would say that this is a pretty normal bell-shaped distribution. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's my histogram for that. It is pretty close to bell-shaped. It's a little slightly skewed left, but really not that much. I mean, slightly skewed right. So since these are really close together, I would use the mean as the measure of central tendency. When they're close, use the mean. When they are not close, when they're far apart from each other, use the median. So that is it for, sorry, I lied to you. We've got the mode still. So the mode, we don't use this a whole lot, but the mode is the way of just telling us what is the most frequent observation of a variable. So a set of data can have either no mode, one mode, or more than one mode. If no observation occurs more than once, we say that it has no mode. So here's an example here. The data on the next slide represents the vice presidents of the United States and their state of birth. So we're going to find the mode. So take a look at all of these. I threw Mike Pence on here. He wasn't on here when I grabbed this. Neither was Joe Biden. This was a little bit older data. But I put this in a frequency table so we can look at it more closely. So if you look here, New York, most vice presidents were from New York. So our mode would be New York because that is the one that occurs most frequently. So basically just look at your frequency table, whichever one has the highest number, that would be your mode. So once again, here is just the everything crunched together. So our mean, one of the ways is like the center of gravity. When the data is quantitative and the frequency distribution is roughly symmetric, we use the mean. The way that we calculate the mean is by adding everything together, dividing by the number of data points we have. So median, make sure you arrange the data in ascending order, then just divide the data set and back. So we have the top 50% and the lower 50% right in the middle is our median. If our data is either is quantitative and the frequency distribution is skewed to the left or skewed to the right, we will use the median. Last, for the mode, if the only thing that you're looking for is which data which observation is the most. That's the only time you would use that. It's pretty infrequent. We hardly ever use that. Right, so if you have any questions, make sure you send me an email or a message through My Open Math, and I will see you on the next lesson.